In this week's episode of Working with Productivity, I have Greg Steppe. Hello and welcome to episode 18 of my Working with Productivity series. My name is Carl Pulleen, and in this week's episode I have the pleasure of introducing you to Greg Steppe. Now in this episode, Greg is going to show you how to link Outlook, Microsoft Outlook, to Todoist. Now, this is a really fantastic episode simply because I don't have anything Microsoft on my computer. And so I find it very difficult to be able to show you guys how to get Todoist and Microsoft products, particularly Outlook, working together. Well, in this episode, Greg is going to show you exactly how to do that using, I think it's called Microsoft Flow. But anyway, he's going to go through the process of being able to send your email that you receive straight to your Todoist inbox. So it's a little bit of an extra Todoist tutorial this week, but with a different face. So that's a really, really good rest for you guys out there. So without any further ado, let me introduce you to Greg Steppe. So over to you, Greg.
Hi everybody, I'm Kreg Steppe. I want to thank Carl for allowing me to come on to Working with Productivity and show you some of my tips. And the tip I've got today is I'm working with Outlook. And I use Outlook for work, of course. And for work, we also have the Office 365 suite, which I know a lot of people do. There's a couple components here I'm going to be using. The story is I want to take an email that needs an action on it, and I want to put it in Todoist. I want to take it out of the Outlook ecosystem so I can take action on it, classify it, and take care of it. So how do you do that? Well, I found there's a couple ways. There's a tool you can install into Outlook. I decided not to use that because it just didn't, it worked fine, but it wasn't on all of my platforms. Since I have a Windows machine behind me and a Mac here. And, of course, I don't have that on my Windows phone. So I wanted something that was universal, easy to use. So my idea was I want to take an email, flag it, and when it's flagged, put it in Todoist, and categorize or move the email out of my inbox. So how do we do that? Okay, I'm going to use Microsoft's Flow, which is also part of the Office 365. And just like that, we get an email. Yes, we know each other too well. Okay, so I'll need to take action on this. So this is how it works. When I flag the email, Microsoft Flow will kick in, and it will forward a copy to this email to my inbox email address in Todoist. And after that's done, I want to clear out the inbox because I want to get to inbox 0, right? I guess everybody does. So it will move it over to my email archive, which is, you can see it up to the side there. And the idea is I want it in a small place where I can reference it again. Once I go to reply to the person and say, hey, it's done, or whatever, what have you. Rather than being in the big archive that has all of my messages in it. I want to kind of keep them separate and keep it out of my work's archive schedule. I don't want it to just go away. So I'm looking at this email. I go, okay, I need to take action on it, and we'll tag it. It'll take a few minutes, and then it'll go away, and you'll see. And boom, there you go. It actually works. So now my task is on its way over to Todoist. Let's go take a look. Go into Todoist, and you can see I've got hey, look, and we click on it. There's the message behind there, and it also shows up as an attachment, which you open it, and I think it formats it a little bit better so you can see what's going on. If you had an attachment like a spreadsheet or something, you would also see it on here, which I think is pretty helpful. And of course, I can take action on it from here and categorize it, move it into a project or what have you. So how does this magic work? I bet you're asking yourself. So let's take a look. So I'm going to go to Microsoft Flows, and actually I'll go to the first flow, or the first page. And Flow is much like IFTTT. There's a lot of services that interact with Office 365 that are supported by Microsoft Flow. That's what I meant to say. Some of them are premium, some of them are not. There's Microsoft To Do, Outlook.com if you use Outlook.com. And I think a lot of these are free. I think you don't have to have necessarily a subscription to use a lot of these. And it's pretty good. Sometimes the interface gets a little weird on some of the, when you're building the actual task. But the thing about Flow I like is that it's a little more intuitive also about branching and ifs. And so you can make something a little more complex than just IFTTT, where it's pretty much just start from if something makes the trigger and it goes to the end product. These you can do some in between steps, do some checking for values, and do different things, which is kind of neat. So let's take a look at my flows. I've got 2 of them here, and let's I tell you what, let's create from blank. I'll kind of recreate it. So for me, I'm going from Office 365 Outlook. And when an email is flagged, you can see all the other triggers here. When an email is flagged, in the folder inbox, this is the important key. You have to make sure you specify which folder you're talking about. So in this instance, it's the inbox. You can add other functions or other criteria if you want, but we're not going to mess with that. So we'll do a new step, new action. We want to forward an email. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. We need to get the message ID. Outlook keeps a message ID in its programming structure of what message we're talking about. So here I have to go type in. It doesn't show on the list. Message ID. And there you go. So I'll pop that in there. And then you say who? My Todoist inbox at todoist.com. Okay, your email address is going to obviously be different, but you would pop that in there. You get that from Todoist in the little settings for the inbox. So this is not going to be correct. Anyway, so now that we've got the message, we forwarded it. One problem I saw with this flow is you have to actually move it out of your inbox, which I don't know if it's a problem. I look at it as a feature because Flow kept wanting to pick up the email once again, and I ended up with like 20 of the same email in Todoist, and I didn't want that. So once you forward the email, you want to move it out of your inbox. And you just search down here for, I think it's move an email, get that message ID again. And you select the folder that you want it to go to. And I have an email archive, so I picked that. And that's it. So once you save the flow, you can test it and see that it works. And I also did the same thing for events. So when there's an event that's created, it also makes a Todoist task. I did that for a reason. After consulting with my friend Chuck Tomasi, he wanted to know when he had meetings pop up, he wanted those to be in Todoist also, because sometimes for a project, a meeting can be the next action item. So if those come in, if you don't need them, you just delete it. But a task would come in and it would have the meeting date and everything on there. But you make it much the same way as you make the other one. So that works out. So let's go take a look at Todoist. Again, there it is. And we just classify it. And that's all there is to it. Microsoft Flow is pretty good. Again, the interface gets a little weird sometimes. Like I was having to search for that message ID. But there you go. Anyway, thank you for watching me, and hope you got something out of this. If you want to find out more about me, you can find me at spindle.com, SPYNDLE, or you can watch my podcast, and we do it on YouTube. But if you want to listen to my podcast, I've done with Chuck Tomasi. We've been doing it for 13 years, and there's plenty of shenanigans to go around. So go back and listen, and I hope you enjoy it. You can find that at you can just search for Technorama Podcast, or go to chuckchat.com/Technorama. Thank you. And all that remains is for me to wish you a productive week. Bye now.
soon.